Welcome back to the Black Star video. Thank you for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about Cardano's catalyst proposal versus ISPOs. Let's talk about it. Let's get it. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome back to the video. Today we're going to talk about catalyst funding on Cardano versus ISPOs on Cardano. Two very distinct methods of getting funded. One is governed, one is not. One has to build a project to get funded. One just gives you the hopes of. So let's talk about it. Let's get it. So like always, I'll put a link in the description, but the website is cardano.idscale.com. And here you can create, fund, deliver the future of Cardano. Project Catalyst, an experiment in community innovation, providing a framework to turn ideas into impactful and real-world projects. We're putting community at the heart of Cardano's future development. Are you ready for the challenge? So here's where projects will come, bid what they want to build on Cardano, and they'll get funding for. This can be from podcasts to community development interactions to actual projects and or utilities on Cardano. And the project is being funded by the community because we vote for this to happen. And then the funds are governed not by the project, but it's governed by the Cardano Foundation. So that way there's security that if something goes wrong and these guys aren't providing what they said to provide, guess what? They don't get the funding. So they're forced to deliver what they promised to deliver. So they'll get a portion of funding depending on what they're asking for and what they're looking to get. The Cardano Foundation will give them a portion of the funds to get started, and then they have to deliver certain quotas, right? They have to get to certain milestones to continue the funding. And they may even run out, and they may need to get funded at the next proposal, the next funding proposal, right? We're up to Fund 10. We just finished Fund 9 in September, and this is very interesting. Here's how it works. Innovative together, guide an idea, create an impactful proposal, collaborate with community to develop and refine it. So that means you create your proposal, a bunch of questions get asked by you, you refine it to make it more detailed, more informative about what you're going to build. And after it's refined, vote for your favorite idea using the voting app to choose ideas impact worth funding. Get rewarded for ADA by taking part. So if you vote on a project, you get rewards as well. So the more projects you vote for, the more funding gets put out for really good projects. On top of that, you'll get rewarded for participating in the Catalyst funding round. So for every Catalyst funding round, you'll get rewarded for helping to participate within the ecosystem. This is great for everybody. So not only they get funded, your favorite projects may get funded, but you'll get rewarded for just participating in it. Then stay up to date, receive regular updates on all funding ideas so you can follow along and see how things are progressing. So we get complete updates, not all the time. I haven't seen too much of it. But you can, if you stay part of this, what's going on with those projects that you definitely were a part of helping to make happen. So this is Project Catalyst. These are all the ideas that went through. People give them kudos. There's so much that goes on here. As you can see, we were at Fund 9, and it ended September of 2022. There should be a Fund 10 happening shortly in the near future. And this is where we come. You go ahead, you select the idea, you get to read about it, make comments, and so forth. Then later on, as ideas get refined, you get to vote on them. And if the project gets enough votes, it gets funded. It gets funded by the community. So the Treasury funds these projects. This is also part of IOG's way of getting more development on Cardano by having the Treasury to fund ideas and projects to get our ecosystem growing. This is great. And on top of that, it's governed by the Cardano Foundation. These projects have to deliver. They have to come through. And I respect this format. This is the best way. Do not give your precious ADA away to projects for nothing. We have a treasury system in place that is designed to make sure that developers develop and do as they promise. And they get funded. They get funded for free. There's nothing required from them other than to deliver a project, no matter what it is, no matter what they get funded for. They deliver the project. They get paid for delivering on that project. So in my humble opinion, this is the best way to go about getting projects out on our ecosystem. This is the best way to get development on the ecosystem. This is a free way for developers who don't have funding for their projects to come over here and get funded every round and every phase. Liquid would receive funding from Cardano. Charlie 3 received funding from Cardano. Many of the top projects right now in the ecosystem received funding from Cardano. I also believe the JPEG store received funding from Cardano. There are podcasts that receive funding from Cardano. It's happening, right? These things happen. Let's get this system working. Let's get away from this ISPO nonsense. And we'll go through that in a minute. All right, but this is the way to go. Project Catalyst, funding through here, voting, me, you, the community voting on projects that actually work. Cardano Foundation making sure they do deliver on what they promise. And this is the way we should go about it. All right, so Catalyst, I'll have the link in the description for you to participate, take part in it, and enjoy. And on top of that, you'll get rewarded for participating. It doesn't get better than that. So Altcoin Buzz made this article January of 2023, just this year. Now, what is an ISPO? And again, ISPO stands for Initial Stake Pool Offering. So we all know that Cardano is a decentralized proof of stake network. So you can delegate your rewards to a pool, and if you so choose, they can take your ADA and in return give you the coin of choice, and they keep the ADA. Mind you, that ADA is a very precious asset. It should not be given away lightly. Fundraising is a huge part of the crypto ecosystem. Like the rest of the industry, crypto fundraising methods have undergone a series of changes in recent times. These changes have made it easier for investors and developers to access and raise funds for projects. Older examples of fundraising techniques include a DEX offering, initial exchange offering, initial coin offering. However, more modern approaches such as Cardano's initial stake pool offering have gained attention in recent times. And it's true. This is another way of getting funding for a project, but there is no way of making sure the project actually comes through with what they promised, right? So an IDO's initial DEX offering simply involves giving tokens in exchange for liquid cash. You mostly find this approach in sports fan tokens. Is also an easy and quick way to raise cash from investors, right? Initial coin offering, this was really big in 2017 and led to many scams. ICO is an original crypto funding model and was used by some of the early projects. So ICO simply involves raising funds from investors via white paper. The investor stands to profit if the token soars and the project succeeds as speculated. However, one of the limitations of the model is that it requires custody and investors' capital, right? I mean, this was like the wild west of fundraising back in 2017-18. There were millions, if not billions of people, billions of dollars scammed out of people. And Cardano did an ICO, I believe, as well. But they actually came through what they said they were going to do. So an IEO is a model that offers investors with registered accounts, coins on the exchange market. So you get these registered coins in an exchange, and then you buy the coins off of there, and it raises funds for that particular, if I remember right, that model. So because of Cardano's smart contract capabilities and the way its staking mechanisms work, you can do what's called an ISPO, where you have an initial stake pool offering. And again, you give up your precious ADA or a portion of your precious ADA for this new token that has zero value, and you're going to hope that it's going to go up in value. Hopefully these developers actually come through with something and not run away. So I don't trust it. There's many projects that claimed they were going to do the right thing, and they aren't available right now. So I'll put a link in the description, and there's some information here that you can read in or watch. But again, there's no security. There isn't any security at all that you're going to receive a very lucrative coin in regards to your ADA. I mean, there are some projects that actually did come through, but there are a lot of projects that didn't come through at all. And this left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. They don't trust too much in ISPO anymore. That means a developer has to come through very credible. They have to come through that they are going to come up with something, their project as promised. People have to believe that they're going to deliver what they're saying they're going to deliver. There's so much distrust right now with ISPOs, and I am highly against them. I don't favor ISPOs at all. I don't think they're a good mechanism for raising funds in its entirety. I think that it is a good possibility, but there needs to be some type of governance. So the only real website I could find that has any information on ISPOs is this ISPO Online, our initial stake pool offering projects. And the list of projects are very short at this time. Aegon, ShareSlake, A-Starter, and IMAX. Now I had some personal conversations, not too personal, but I had some conversations with A-Starter. They also had some Zoom meetings and such. They'll develop a launchpad and use ISPOs as a service to help fund projects that want to launch on their DEX platform. And they seem very promising. Again, I don't trust ISPOs at all. I think this is a bad funding mechanism. There's other ways of going about it, but again, the legalities are also shaky, as the best term. But the guys at A-Starter seem to be very legitimate. I can't say 100% that they are. Anybody can talk a good game, claim to deliver, but then never do. So this is A-Starter's website. They're currently in the ISPO stage 1. I'm not too sure how long this is going to start. I haven't talked to them anymore about what they were doing. I wanted to do an interview with them, and it just never happened. I just couldn't get around to getting everything up and going. But end of stage 1 is February 2024, EPOD 396. And let's see what happens. You come to their website. I'll leave a link in the description, and you can check out what they're talking about. But they seem very credible, and only the future can actually tell what's going to happen, right? So take a look at A-Starter. Let's take a look at some of these other projects. And I'm not going to go into great detail, but Aegon, all right, this aims to making it easier for everyone to contribute to decentralized cloud and storage networks and earn from it. Okay, another decentralized cloud, another Filecoin. So they don't have the funding to actually make their own development, so that they're looking from the community in these pools that people would take part, right, and help them build a decentralized cloud service. I believe we already have one in the makes on Cardano. If they want to make another one or two, I don't see what the problem with that is, but let's see what happens. Then you have ShareLake, a fiat-backed stablecoin for Cardano's ecosystem, building fully stable and a stable sidechain. So we have DJED, we have IUSD by Indigo, and we're about to have USDA by Mergo. I'll stick with that. I'm not too keen on iShares. Cymax. We are the first self-sovereign identity solution providing incentives to customers' activity and comply with strict security standards. So tell me which municipality, government, organization is going to choose you and trust you to handle the identity solutions for them. Not too keen on that as well. So these are ended Cardano ISPOs. There's only 2 of them that's in operation right now. That's MinSwap, which is actually the #1 DEX on Cardano, and then Meld is actually coming through. They're actually doing some stuff. And also AADA. AADA is another project that's in the works. I'm not too sure about Empower. I haven't seen much of them, but they're supposed to be doing some real DeFi platforms with home ownership in Africa, making it more decentralized and economical and stable, building homes for people in a decentralized ecosystem or financial ecosystem and inclusion. So we have possible 1. This is definitely 1, 2, 3 projects out of so many that use ISPOs, and nothing's happened, because it's just like anything else that's not governed. When you're giving away free assets, it could just run amok. So again, not much here, but what's available, what we're looking at, and that's about it, right? So ISPOs or Catalyst funded projects that are governed by the Cardano Foundation. So I'm not too sure about all of the ISPO funded projects by the community but are out there. I do know there are about 2 to 3, maybe 4 tops that are actually working right now, actually functional right now, 100%, making stuff happen, with the exception of Meld aren't 100% yet, but they're there, they're viable, they're ascertainable, they have a website, there's a semblance of a DApp building, versus the possibilities thereof, right? These other projects have nothing started. The only other project that may have something going is, again, A-Starter, only because I have personal communication talks with them, that they might be a viable solution. They might actually come through. They don't seem scammy, sketchish. Have some talks with them. I'm not too sure if they're legitimate or not, but again, I have my disbeliefs when it comes to ISPOs, even though it is a new way of funding. if there were more smart contracts involved that required them to get the funding, let's say from the pool that was held in a smart contract, and then as they built their ecosystem and our project, that pool would release funds to them in increments of 10%, 20%, whatever the case may be, right? That would actually be of an improvement than what's out there right now, and it's a wild, wild west. So thank you for watching this video to the end. If you like the content, hit that like button. Want to get notified, hit the bell, support the channel, subscribe, and again, be careful of what you choose to support. ISPOs, no security. You get a token for precious ADA with no safeguards or no guarantees that that project would actually come through and it'll actually be worth something. So I personally was taking advantage of a couple of projects that that didn't do anything. Maybe that's my bias, maybe it's not. Again, there's no governance. However, with Project Catalyst funding, that is governed. We vote for it. We get paid for voting. You get rewarded. You still get to keep your ADA staked at a genuine pool like Blackstar. And good things have happened that way, you know? And the community is still paying for this, but we're doing it together. We're actually funding real projects that will get launched on Cardano, versus something that's speculative that may never get launched, right? And then if the project has too many tokens, it just has too many tokens that are freely given out that may get dumped. So again, thank you for watching the video. Support your boy, subscribe. Blackstar, light in the darkness, babe. Peace.